I'm going to be talking about the history of Delhi. The earliest reference to a settlement in the Delhi area is found in the Mahabharata, an epic narrative about the two groups of warring cousins, the Pandavas and the Kauravas, both descendants of the prince Bharata. According to the narrative, a city called Indraprastha, which means the city of the god Indra, was built about 14,000 BCE. It was the capital of the Pandavas. Although nothing remains of Indraprastha, legend holds it to have been a thriving city. The first reference to the place name Delhi seems to have been made in the 1st century BC when Raja Dehlu built a city near the site of the future Qutub Minar Tower, which is in present day southern Delhi, and named it for himself. The next notable in the area now known as Delhi Triangle was Anandpur or Anandapur, established as a royal resort in about 1020 CE by Anangpala of the Tomara dynasty. Anangpala later moved Anandpur some 6 miles, which is equal to 10 kilometers westward, to a walled citadel called Lalkot. The Tomara kings occupied Lalkot for about a century, and in 1164 Prithviraj III or Rai Pithora extended the citadel by building massive walls around it. The city then became known as Kila Rai Pithora. In the late 12th century, Prithviraj III was defeated and the city passed into Muslim hands. Kutubuddin Aibak, builder of the famous tower Qutub Minar, completed in the early 13th century by Iltutmish, made Lalkot the seat of his empire. The Khalji dynasty came to power in the Delhi area in the last decade of the 13th century. During the reign of the Khaljis, the suburbs were ravaged by Mongol plunderers. As a defense against succeeding attacks by the Mongols, Alauddin Khalji reigned from 1296 to 1316, built a new round fortified city at Siri, a short distance northeast of the Qutub Minar, that was designated as the Khalji capital. Siri was the first completely new city to be built by the Muslim conquerors in India. The region passed into the hands of the Tughlaq dynasty in 1321. A new capital was built by Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq in the year 13 between he ruled from 1320 to 1325 at Tughlaqabad. But it had to be abandoned in help of the old site near the Qutub Minar because of a scarcity of water. Ghiyas's successor Muhammad bin Tughlaq extended the city farther northeast and built new fortifications around it. He then suddenly moved the capital to Devagiri, which he renamed Daulatabad in the Deccan Plateau to the south, in order to supervise territories that he had recently annexed there. Muhammad bin Tughlaq's successor Firoz Shah Tughlaq abandoned the Daulatabad site and in 1354 moved his capital farther north, near the ancient site of Indraprastha. The capital he founded, Firozabad, was situated in what is now the Firoz Shah Kotla area of contemporary Delhi. After the invasion and sack of the Delhi area by Timur, also known as Tamerlane, at the end of the 14th century, the Sayyid from 1414 to 1451 and the Lodi 1451 to 1526 dynasties, which followed the Tughlaqs, confined themselves within the precincts of Firozabad. Babur, the first Mughal ruler, arrived in 1526 and made his base at Agra to the southeast in what is now the state of Uttar Pradesh. His son Humayun ascended the throne in 1530 and in 1533 founded a new city, Din Panah, on the bank of the Yamuna River. Sher Shah, who overthrew Humayun in 1540, razed Din Panah to the ground and built his new capital, the Sher Shahi, now known as Purana Killa Fort, in the southeastern Delhi. The next two Mughal emperors, Akbar, who reigned from 1556 to 1605, and Jahangir, who reigned from 1605 to 1627, preferred to rule India from Agra. In 1639, however, Shah Jahan, Akbar's grandson, instructed his engineers, architects, and astrologers to choose a location with a mild climate somewhere between Agra and Lahore, which is now in Pakistan. The choice was on the western bank of the Yamuna, just north of Purana Killa. Shah Jahan started the construction of the new capital, focusing on his fort, Urdu-e-Mula, today called as Lal Killa or the Red Fort. The structure was completed in 8 years, and on April 19th, in 1648, Shah Jahan entered his fort and his new capital Shahjahanabad from its riverfront gate. Shahjahanabad today is Old Delhi. The greater part of the Old Delhi is still confined within the space of Shah Jahan's walls and several gates built during his rule, which few are the Kashmiri Gate, the Delhi Gate, the Turkman Gate, and the Ajmeri Gate, which all is in Delhi. They still stand. With the fall of the Mughal Empire during the mid 18th century, Delhi faced raids by the Marathas, who were a people of peninsular India, invasions by Nadir Shah of Persia, and a brief spell of Maratha rule before the British arrived in 1803. Under the British rule, the city flourished, except during the Indian Mutiny in 1857 when the mutineers seized the city for several months, after which British power was restored and Mughal rule ended. In 1911, the British determined to shift the capital of India from Calcutta, which is now known as Kolkata, to Delhi, and a three-member committee was formed to plan the construction of the new administrative center. The key architect on the committee was Sir Edwin Lutyens. It was he who gave shape to the city. The British moved to the partially built New Delhi in 1912 and construction was completed in 1931. Since India's independence in 1947, Delhi has become a major metropolitan area. It has spread north and south along the Yamuna River, spilled onto the river's east bank, stretched over the Delhi Ridge to the west, and extended beyond the boundaries of the National Capital Territory into adjacent states. Initially, the city's growth was attributable to the enormous arrival of Hindu refugees from Pakistan following its partition from India, which was also in the year 1947.